cameras.
It's like they said in the movie.
I'm Sheri Stewart, and my story is about breaking generational curses. I come from a long line of probably about 4 generations of women who were alcoholics. They all had daughters and gave them all up for adoption, so I was included in that. So I was adopted, and I had a father. I had 2 moms that weren't really there. I had adopted mom, biological mom, and so I always said, there's no way that I'm gonna give my kids up. So I was like, it's gonna stop here. So I had a daughter, and I was young. With that, and being so young, coming from the bloodline that I came from, women that were alcoholics had mental illnesses. I didn't know, but I was affected by it. So I struggled with bipolar, just a lot of stuff going on in my head. At the age of probably about 13, I was cutting myself. When I would get upset or get angry, I would do it as a release. I didn't physically feel it. So I knew something was wrong, and that wasn't normal. So I told my dad I needed help. We went and checked me into MHMR in Galveston. I got home, they put me on a depression medication. I was on that for a while. Then I got, I got better. I started learning how to think before I reacted. It calmed me down and stuff like that. But when I got pregnant and I was basically a single mom for a while, it kind of got a little bit worse. And I ended up getting pregnant again when my oldest was 6 months. So that was kind of, that wasn't ideal, so you go through that, and when you don't have a support system or anybody around, really, friends, things like that, or anybody to understand what you're going through, you go through it alone. When you don't know you can have God. So years and years went on. I was dealing with a lot of physical pain and, of course, the mental issue that was going on. I just remember just laying in bed at night and during the day and just asking God to take it away from me, just to heal me, make me feel better, take the pain away, because I didn't know what else to do. I was on so much medication and medication to counteract the medication that I was on. So I wasn't even really myself. My mental health continued to deteriorate. Depression, feeling hopeless, just not even being a functioning human being. It got so bad to where my dad had my kids for a while. And I was in my room and I was alone. And I just cried out to God. I was like, God, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want this life. I heard, I didn't know what it was. It was the Holy Spirit. I had a thought in my head, go to church. I said, okay. And I was like, all right, Jesus, if you want me to go, I was like, you want me to go to church? I was like, I need a church to where I'm going to hear you speak to me. And I came across the fellowship. I looked at the pictures online. It just felt welcoming. Everybody was, smiling. It was genuine. It wasn't just like, hey, smile for the camera. It was genuine smiles. Genuine pictures, moments captured. When I came here to the fellowship, I felt a sense of peace and comfortability just pulling into the parking lot. So when I got in here, everybody was smiles, shook my hand, told me good morning, welcome in. I don't know how many people said, welcome to church. And I felt like Jesus was telling me, welcome to church. You're here. This is where you belong. I hadn't ever really felt like that. And to come here and to just hear that, welcome to church, we're glad you're here. And it was so genuine and just on time. My kids started coming to church with me. After probably about maybe 2 or 3 times of me coming, they started on the journey of being here with me. I was excited. And I was like, this is great. Then probably about a month or so into it, for whatever reason, my 2 youngest kids quit coming. I was like, here I am alone again. At that point in my life, I was so sick and tired of doing things alone, doing life alone, trying to get better alone. I had Jesus, but I was still physically alone. So I quit coming to church. Not too long after that, I got served an eviction notice. So I didn't have anywhere to go. I stayed in my truck for a while. After a little while, I did eventually give my truck up and I sold it. So no income, no place to stay, no vehicle. I moved away for a little while. And I was starting on the journey that I thought I should go on, enrolling in college and getting a job. Around Thanksgiving time, I went back home to see my dad and my kids. And while I was down here, my dad asked me to move in and take care of him because his health was declining. So here I am on this health journey with my dad and my kids. I didn't want to stop progress from where I was at. So I was like, Dad, are you gonna be okay? I'm gonna go to church. I came back to where I felt at home. I came back to the fellowship. And this time around, I told myself, I told God, I was like, I don't care if I have to do it on my own. I don't care. I'm gonna go to church. I was like, even if my kids don't come, it's fine. I'm going for me. So I started coming. And probably about a couple months in, my dad passed away. So I still kept coming to church. My son ended up coming with me. At first, my son didn't want to go to church. And I know you're not supposed to force people into church or anything like that, but I just felt it was critical, and I was like, nobody's gonna stay in this house and not go to church. Yeah, I was like, you're not gonna stay in this house and not go to church. I was like, you're gonna go to church with me. I was like, you're gonna worship God and you're gonna like it. It's like, that's what we're doing. Now my son serves with some of the most awesome men here. He's got such great role models here at the church. He loves it. He's doing great. So it's me and my son. And it's something that I never thought was possible. I never thought could happen. When you ask God for a new life, be prepared. Be prepared. Because when I asked him for a new life, he didn't disappoint. I got rid of everything in the old life God gave me a new life. I've been off all the medication for years now. I have a completely different personality. When you ask God for a new life and a new identity, He's not a liar. When He says He will honor that and add things to you. Being a part of the fellowship for me and my son, it's helped transform us in so many ways. It's helped me grow spiritually. It's helped me grow in my connection with people, having so many people here for mentors, so many people to pray for you, so many life groups. Me making the decision to have a relationship with Jesus, to have a new life, to have my family follow God, be Jesus seekers, is going to be our new generational legacy. I'm so grateful for the people at the fellowship. I'm grateful to be a part of a church that cares. I'm so grateful that when I came back to church, my church was still here to come home to.